Hey everyone, here we are on day 2 of Women's Gynecological Awareness Month, and I wanted to give you a really quick rundown of what is gyno cancer. A lot of people know about breast cancer. Believe it or not, breast cancer is not considered one of the 5 gynecological cancers because it's its own space in the body, so it's a different type of cancer. Gynecologists do work with it, but I think they consider it a little bit different. This is really like strictly working with things in the reproductive process of the women's body. So the first cancer that a lot of women know about is cervical cancer, and that's an easy one. A lot of girls are being vaccinated for cervical cancer now. It's really starting to see some progress in cutting down the amount of cervical cancer that's coming around out there. Like 11 and 12-year-old girls can get the vaccine for the HPV virus because that tends to be what causes cervical cancer. So that one is, they've done so much research on it, and they are finding some things that are really helping women to diagnose it. But for those older ladies like myself who are, missed out on the vaccination, you can get vaccinated up to about age 25. They have like a shortened term for vaccination. So if you're still like 22 or 23, you can still get vaccinated for the HPV virus. You just have to talk to your doctor about it, and your gynecologist, trust me, they are trying really hard to get people to do the vaccinations because they're seeing progress with women not getting the virus quite as much. And of course it's going to be long term because you have to see how long these women who did get it when they were young, what happens when they're 40, 50, 60 years old. So it's going to take years for them to really see what the evidence shows. And then the other form of cancer a lot of women know about that's gynecological is ovarian cancer, and ovarian cancer tends to be linked to similar genes as breast cancer. So it is a genetic cancer. You have it in your family, and a lot of times if your grandmother had it or your mom had it, a lot of times you are more likely to get it. So that one is a genetic cancer. However, it can also happen to you over time and age and everything. So as you get older, especially if something is transferred through the vaginal canal, and it ends up getting to your ovaries, that it can cause cancer cells to grow. So there's lots of ways to get ovarian cancer. They say if you haven't had a baby in many, many years, although that's actually, I hate to tell people this, but if you haven't had a baby by age 25, your chances of gynecological cancer go up significantly, all forms of gynecological cancer. And then if you haven't had a baby by age of 35, they go up even more. And now you're looking at somebody who's in like 40s, and it can go up even, it's like you have much higher chances of getting cancer. Actually, I have cancer, so obviously for me and my condition, it's different. Because I did get diagnosed with it at 38, and I know women who are getting diagnosed with the type of cancer that we have as young as in their 20s. So it's something to definitely think about. Even though age does play a part in it, there's definitely factors that you have to take into consideration. If you're overweight, that can also increase your chances of getting cancers. So that's the third cancer, and one that it hits home for me, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what it was until I got it, is endometrial cancer / uterine cancer. Uterine cancer is the big picture because you can get uterine cancer in your lining or you can get it in your uterus. So once it's in the uterine muscle, that's when it's bad. So you want to catch it while it's still in the endometrium, because then they can work with you on getting rid of the cancer. The trick though is finding out what's causing it, because most of the time endometrial cancer it is not a hereditary cancer, although there have been a few cases of it linked to it, which is more likely the type 2 form of endometrial cancer, because there are 2 types. Type 1 is definitely hormone imbalance. There's too much estrogen and not enough progesterone to offset it. That's what tends to cause endometrial cancer. Many overweight women get it. Many women who haven't had children get it. Women with infertility get it. There's a lot of links to why women get endometrial cancer. My doctor was like, well, did you have your period before you were age 12? And I'm like, yeah. Were you overweight most of your life? Yeah. Have you had bouts where you haven't had a period? Like 2 years? Yeah. Were your cycles irregular? Yes. Did you bleed weird during? Yes. So those were all things that I had, and to think that the RE looked at me and said, oh no, you're not a candidate for, Not true. I was like probably the poster child for, for endometrial cancer. So I had pretty much like everything they told me that, you know, if you have these things, you're more likely to get them. So endometrial cancer is a form of uterine cancer. So uterine cancer is the big picture. If you have it for a long period of time, it can spread to your uterine wall. And some women who actually get it boom right in the uterine wall. It doesn't even take time to build. And what they're finding is that type of uterine cancer is linked to colon cancer too. I've actually met a girl who has both, and it's devastating. I can't even imagine. It's bad enough to have one cancer, but to have it spread to another part of your body and have it be a secondary type of cancer form from it, I can't even imagine. It's unbelievable to have to deal with two. It's just so much. I just can't even imagine what it's like to have to go through that, to battle not one but two cancers. The other types of cancer, the other two types are ones I can be honest with you, I'm learning about myself. One of them is vaginal cancer, and obviously that just means that the cancer starts in the vagina. And the other cancer is vulvar cancer, which is in like the folds and everything on the outside of the vagina. So that one is all exterior. So if you feel lumps or anything in that area and you have discomfort during intercourse and things like that, you really need to get into your doctor and have them check that and make sure that you're not growing any cysts or any abnormal growths in your exterior folds, because believe me, it's not a cancer anyone would ever think of. Like, I didn't even know that those cancers existed, and they do. So I'm learning a lot about these things as I'm doing these vlogs for you all. So that's what my update is for today. Very quick one. I'm just doing little quick ones each day, but I wanted to kind of give everybody a heads up. So the 5 cancers are ovarian, uterine, cervical, vaginal, and vulval. And those are the 5 cancers that are associated with gynecological cancer. And just to let people know that the uterine one / endometrial is also linked to colon cancer. So that's, colon cancer is not a gynecological cancer because everybody gets it, men, women. However, it has been linked to endometrial cancer, so just something to think about, you know, really getting in there and getting these things taken care of before they start to spread to other places in the body. It's just not worth it. So I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Thanks, and have a great day.